read this. Hollywood is shaken up by Trump's tariff plan for the movie industry. What tariff plan for the movie industry? He wants a 100% tariff on movies produced outside of the United States. Why? He's a madman. People can pretend they know what's going on here. People can pretend, oh, well, he's doing that. There is no explanation. You can pretend to be a right-winger and pretend he's really smart for this, or you can pretend that, you know, you're a left-winger and you understand why he's doing this. No, there's no explanation. He's just insane. What the On first blush, it's shocking and would represent a virtually complete halt of production, but in reality, he has no jurisdiction to do this and is too complex to enforce. I mean, that is the weirdest thing ever. That is genuinely... That is... Vermin Supreme type shit. Like, what? Basically every movie ever? Yeah. Trump needs to, like, choke on his food. I'm not gonna repeat. I can't say that part out loud, Chad. You trying to get me banned over here? I'm gonna get banned for not banning you right now. We can't let Asmongold see this, Chad. He's gonna get me banned. We can't let Asmongold see it. Gonna get cooked. Him or JD Vance? I don't know, man. JD Vance is pretty damn bad. Dude, if Trump was on his deathbed, though, he wouldn't even let JD Vance get in. If Trump was dying, he would be like, don't put in JD Vance, put in Musk, and then he'd die. We wouldn't get... I don't know why, but I feel like if that were to happen, we would not get JD Vance. They would figure out some way to shove Musk in there instead. Okay, yeah, think of it that way. Who do you want more, Elon Musk or Donald Trump? Honestly, I'm going Trump. Entirely vibes-based, because at least Trump is funny. At least I can, like, laugh at Trump. Elon Musk, I look at the news articles on him, and I just get, like, really grossed out, you know? I'm gonna go for Trump. Because I don't want a president whose breeding kink I have to read about every day, you know? Other sources are taking a more open-minded view. I want to take a breath before reading this. Asserting that Trump is instigating a dialogue about a real issue, so-called runaway production, that has left many Americans in the movie and TV production sector out of work. That's not gonna do anything. Tariffs are not gonna cause people in the movie industry to start hiring American workers because labor outside of America is still vastly cheaper. So they're just gonna go to labor outside of America and then have the consumers pay the tariff cost. We should have learned this already. Come on, guys. But the prospect film levies have injected even more uncertainty into an already unsettled business. Shares of Netflix and other major entertainment companies fell Monday as investors digested Trump's confusing comments. In its current form, the tariff doesn't make sense, Jay Sears, vice chairman of United Talent Agency, told CNN. American actors and directors would generally prefer to work close to home, but the fact it's cheaper for Hollywood studios to pay everyone to get on planes, pay for hotels, because the cost of labor, lack of rebates, and the ability to make things overseas is infinitely cheaper. Yeah, they're still going to do that. They're just going to push the cost to the consumer. Anyway, we're going to meet with the industry. I want to make sure they're happy about it, Trump said. No, you don't. What, you want to make sure they're happy about it? You know they're not going to be happy about it. We gotta make sure that the people we're imposing tariffs on are happy about it. Wait, what? When Trump took office, he named Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone as his emissaries to Hollywood, though it was never particularly clear what that designation would mean. What the I didn't know about that. Why didn't I know about that? That is so funny. What? What? What does that mean? Trump met over the weekend with actor Jon Voight at Mar-a-Lago to discuss plans for reviving the American film industry, according to a person familiar with the matter. Dude, this is so... Okay, hold on. We need to watch this right now. I'm gonna click on YouTube.
President Trump's trade war could be hitting Hollywood. The president calling for a 100% tariff on foreign films and saying efforts by other countries to lure filmmakers abroad should be considered a national security threat.
What? Why is everything a national security threat now? It's funny that, like, Republicans will, like, narc about, like, how we need to stop using certain words so much because they're losing their meaning. Racism is losing its meaning. But how many times has Trump said national security threat this year about every issue ever? He's not even a competent tyrant. That's so easy to be good at. Yeah, no, he could, yeah. I mean, we've all seen January 6th. He wants to be a tyrant really bad, but he's not good at it. Or at least his supporters aren't. The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. Other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers to studios away from the United States. Bro posted this after seeing Sinners. He saw Sinners, got pissed off, and made this tweet. Therefore, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. He doesn't scream. I don't know why I screamed. He just talks a little louder. There can't be any movement behind this, right? There can't be any movement. I don't think anyone actually cares about this. Dude, I can't do this. We're living in a South Park episode, man. Like, I don't understand how people can get behind this anymore. Like, I get people are doubling down. They've been, again, I've said this before earlier this stream. They've been supporting Trump for how many years now? Too many. And they're too, like, embarrassed right now to admit, okay, maybe he's a little insane. And if they ever get to the point where they do have to admit he's insane, they're going to be like, well, he wasn't crazy back then. He just got crazy. That's why I'm dropping my support. I'm calling that, by the way. He's complaining about movies, taking people from other... Like, what is happening? What is going on? We need Jay to make the camera great again? Okay, I'll try. It's a distraction from the other stuff he's preparing behind the scenes, and America is a cult, so they won't admit it. I don't know, man. I mean, that would be a good play, but also I think he's just insane. I think what you're saying would be a valid strategy for him right now. But I don't think he's thinking that way. I think he's just nuts. But you could be right. Again, that would be a valid strategy. I just don't think he's smart enough to do something like that.
We're making very few movies now. Hollywood is being destroyed. Now, you have an incompetent, grossly incompetent governor that allowed that to happen. So I'm not just...
What did Newsom do to the movie industry? What could he do? What state laws could he put forward to make it so movies are American made? What is my job? What am I doing here? I feel like I'm stating the obvious. I feel like I'm sitting in front of a camera looking at a crazy person saying that person's crazy, and it feels like not productive, but there are so many people who think that what he's saying is, like, makes sense. You know?
A Newsom spokesperson pushing back, telling The Hollywood Reporter, quote, looks like it's distraction day again in Washington, D.C.
That's what you just said, Fuzzy. Okay, I yield. More than one person has said it. Maybe that's it. I'll concede to this. Okay, I'll concede to this. Dude, I think it's funny, because, like, Trump will do a thing, and then the economy will crash, and then Trump does another thing, and then the economy crashes, and then this just happens over and over and over again, and people go, yep, this is what... I'm really glad we don't have Kamala, man. Thank God! Dude, is there a news tab? What is happening? Hold on, I just saw a Bernie Sanders interview in my recommended there.